Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today what we are going to be going over is, in my last video, what I went over is the best case scenario for the Democrats in the 2020, midterms. Not midterms, House elections. So looking at the current House, it is dominated by Democrats, and there are a lot of seats that the Republicans lost back in 2018 that they could definitely pick back up. I'm going to take it kind of state by state, but the state of Washington, I'm actually going to use this. The state of Washington, definitely, Kim Schreier could lose her seat. It went somewhat narrowly towards the Democrats back in 2018, and, if there were to be a red wave, which is very unlikely, but if Trump were to win the presidency, they could definitely take the seat back. Going into California's districts, I could definitely see Valado, I believe that's how you say his name, defeat TJ Cox, since this was such a super close race back in 2018. I could also see Mike Garcia also retaining the 25th district. He did win it by a likely margin in the special election, could probably win it again. There's not too much else. Same in the state of Arizona, Nevada. I could see Ben McAdams losing his district in Utah's 4th congressional district. Colorado would say the same. I could see Torres Small losing her district, since this is a pretty solid Republican district, but she definitely is going to put up a fight. However, I don't see Will Hurd's district actually going to a Republican. It's going to be very difficult for them to try to, appeal to, Hispanics and other voting demographics that live in this district, in the way that Will Hurd did. Going back to other districts in Texas, I think that Lizzie Fletcher's district could probably flip. I think it's Wesley Hunt is the Republican challenger there. Looking into Oklahoma's 5th congressional district, Kendra Horn kind of won by a surprise. No one really thought this district was going to be close, and she won it. So because of that, I think that it probably could go to a likely margin or even safe margin at this point. But she has been fundraising quite a bit of money, but so have her Republican challengers. Looking at the state of Florida, Debbie McCarcel Powell, that's her name. I think that she could probably lose her seat. It was pretty close back in 2018, and if Trump were to win, the state of Florida by, a point or so, he could probably help flip this district back, since it was in the Republicans' hand back in 2018. That was how close it was. So, yeah. I also think that in the state of Georgia, Rod Woodall's seat could go, to the Republican by likely margin. Karen Bath. Oh my gosh. Karen Handel, the Republican challenger. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. Karen Handel, she could probably unseat Lucy McBath. I believe this is John Ossoff's district, which he ran in and lost to her. But Lucy McBath actually doing pretty well, but could probably flip it to the Republicans in their best case scenario. Looking at the state of South Carolina, Joe Cunningham's district could flip to Nancy Mace. Looking into the Midwest, I guess. The state of Minnesota, I could definitely see Colin Peterson's district flip to the Republicans by a safe margin. And I mean, in my characterizations, I have a safe margin between 5 and 15 points. And the fact that this went from, a district decided by a couple points towards the Democrats last time around, now to Republican by 15 points seems crazy. But Colin Peterson represents a Republican district which voted to Trump by over 30 points back in 2016. So I could definitely see that, going for the Republicans. Everything else stays about the same, however, in the state of Minnesota. In the state of Iowa, I could see Dave Loeb's seat. This is an open seat. Go to the Republicans, along with Iowa's 3rd. There are a bunch of other seats that I could see retain for the Republicans, such as Nebraska's 2nd. I don't think Sharice Davis is going to lose her seat. I think she's pretty solid in there. She defeated Kevin Yoder back in 2018. I could also see Rodney Davis retain a seat as well. In the state of Ohio, no changes there. The state of Michigan, I think Alyssa Slotkin could potentially lose her seat, since I believe this is a R+3 or R+4 district. So yeah, looking at other states, I think that the state of Virginia, they could potentially lose Abigail Spanberger's district. It was pretty close back in 2018. Probably she might lose it again. Looking at the state of Pennsylvania, no changes here. Looking at the state of New Jersey, however, I could see Andy Kim's seat flipping to the Republicans, and I could see Jeff Andrew also retaining his seat, since he did flip to the Republican Party. Also looking at the state of New York, I could definitely see Anthony Brendinsky's district flip over to the Republican side. Claudia Tenney, the previous incumbent, she's definitely been raising a lot of money and trying to fight for a political comeback. And in Max Rose's district, in Staten Island, definitely could flip back to the Republicans. I believe Trump won this by like 10 or 11 points back in 2018. And if he were to replicate that, then definitely they could lose. So that's why I have it flipped in the best case scenario. In Maine's 2nd Congressional District, Jared Golden, even though he is quite popular and is leading by double digits in polling, this is Maine's 2nd Congressional District. And I could definitely see it staying with Trump and the presidential level. If anything, I actually think that's likely. So because of that, I could see it narrowly flipping to the Republicans. So with that, this is generally the map that I think would happen if the Republicans have their best case scenario. This is going to be very difficult to actually accomplish, as Democrats, especially Joe Biden, has been leading in overall polling. In the generic ballot, the Democrats are up 8 or 9 points. It's going to be very difficult for the Republicans to actually get a map like this. And even with it, they're just going to have a narrow majority of 1 vote. So because of that, Republicans are really going to need to have some kind of a miracle in order for them to win like this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.